Brothers, welcome back. Before I get into the video, just want to give a huge shout out to BanBao for making that absolute banger of a thumbnail that you guys saw. Just absolutely phenomenal. If you guys want to see more of his work, his name is BanBao, B-A-N-B-A-O. He's active on the Discord and he just has amazing work. So again, you know, brother reached out to me, asked if he could make a thumbnail for the video. I said, absolutely, I would freaking love that dude. And I think his results speak for themselves. But not going to get into the gold exploits. Just really don't have an opinion on it. You know, what happened happened. Lava handled it how he wanted to handle it. People got set back. Hopefully you guys can remake those gains. And, you know, we're going to go back to having fun. But today's video, we're going to discuss the new class, the Voidwalker, how to get them, how to set up your talents, you know, your pre-run strategy. And then I'm going to go over a quick run with you guys. And also, going to show you guys how to sample while you're in the void. So a lot to talk about. Let's get into it.
You gotta just press record.
All right, brothers, first things first, let's meet Prosperitus. He is my Voidwalker. Pretty set up. We're going to get into the gear, the food, all that stuff in just a little bit. First things first, I want to talk about how to even get the Voidwalker. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to come to World 4 Town. This is all the way to the right side of the table. You're going to see this cute little guy, and he's going to give you a series of quests. Hardest of which is, I think, 12 million green mushroom kills. But you're going to need a base level 150 Maestro to even start the quest. So if you don't have a Maestro and that Maestro is not level 150, well, brother, you can't start the quest. So you're going to run through his quest and he's going to reward you with the Voidwalker. Voidwalker, also known as VMan, that is the elite class of the Maestro. So it's going to go beginner to J-Man to M-Man to V-Man. So we're going to go into first the gear. My thought process behind this is to get as much damage, and this will make sense as we're starting to go through the run, get as much damage as possible to really push the multi-kill tiers. And then, you know, we also toss in just a little bit of AFK, a little bit of mob respawn, because we're also going to be sampling while we're inside the void. Cool little thing you get with this, you get the VMan name tag, luck, weapon power, and whatever, but it does give you a nice healthy 10% multi-kill per tier, and that's going to come really clutch when we're starting to sample inside the void. So there is a lot of discussion on whether or not you're allowed to do that. You know, a lot of people are still raw from getting set back by the gold exploit. So Palmer in editing, please make sure you put that picture from Lava saying that sampling inside the void is okay. That way there's nothing to worry about, and through the power of editing, bam. Okay, so there it is. That's Lava saying that it is okay to do that. So before we all grab the pitchforks and talk in the comments about how I'm going to get rolled back, made sure it was okay before we did it. We got the green light. We're good. Nothing to worry about. We can get into it. So that is the gear. I mean, it's whatever, you know, best things you can have. For me, these are all more or less, you know, stat sticks. Nothing too crazy going on, just trying to push the damage as much as possible. When we're talking about movement speed, I know it caps at 360. Unfortunately, I can't take off another potion, otherwise I'm going to go below that 360%. But it's essentially your best damaging food, things that are going to toss on, you know, weapon power, and, you know, speed, and then, you know, your damage. So that's the basis of that. Let's get into the talents real quick. So this question gets asked a lot. When you first start off, you're going to have 1 point, just a singular point. Put that 1 point into the Void Trial Rerun talent, and that unlocks all your other points. So if you just unlocked V-Man, you're like, what the hell, Palmer? I got 1 talent point. We all do. Put the first talent point into the Void Trial Rerun, and it's going to unlock the rest of your talents. Then, finally, one step ahead, did get, you know, reworked, buffed, whatever you want to call it, but it actually works now. And what it does is, as many points as you have into the talent, that's going to give you talent points for the V-Man. So make sure you're not missing this. Make sure we level that up. So essentially, the first talent, the Void Trial Rerun, is going to give you seconds towards your speedrun. So as you can see, I have 51 portals unlocked, and this is how you're going to get more Void talent points. So essentially, 1 point into that unlocks all your other talents. And then you want to max this first. This one's your, you know, your bread and butter. Got to get it as high as possible, otherwise you're not going to have as good of a run. All right, so now that that is over, we're going to go into Void Radius. This is his AoE hit. So it hits every mob within 722 pixels Also gives 15-80% multi-kill per tier for 20 seconds if speedrunning. So this is what you're going to use at specific intervals that you're going to see me use inside of my speedrun to be able to, 1, push, and then 2, to resample. You're going to see me pop this and then, you know, teleport to green mushrooms, teleport to the pots, the little pots, the first mob in World 2. You're going to see me teleport to the first mob in World 3, essentially grabbing all the materials that I use for my refinery. Third one, and this one is also huge, boss kills count as portals. Also, each unique boss kill during the speedrun makes mobs respawn X% faster. This one is also huge. 1, because when you're pushing through, obviously you're going to want mobs to respawn as quickly as possible, but 2, the more mob respawn you have, the higher your sample is going to be, and you guys can kind of see where I'm going with this. You want to get this up as high as possible, 1, to help your speed run, but 2, to get as good of a sample as you can get. And I think yesterday, just messing around with it, I got 957,000. So something you guys need to keep in mind. And then the rest of it, you know, this one you absolutely want. This would probably be your 4th, you know, definitely want to max this, the master of the system. Multi-kill per tier per 5 maps of speedrun high score applies to all characters. So when I get to, if I was at whatever, 55, I would get another 11%, so I'd be at 121%, 60, 132%. So this is a really good talent, something you definitely want to max. And then next would be Voodoo Statuification. All statues give 110% higher bonuses to all characters. That's why you see, you know, this guy, if I was to toss on this last potion, he's, you know, well above and beyond. He's at 505% movement speed. So that's why you see a lot of these people with just really crazy movement speed, really good damage, you know, really good everything. And then if you just have leftover talents, I would recommend putting it into either Eternal Luck, Luck to boost your damage, Lucky Horseshoe, you know, yada, yada, yada. And then Power Orb, 13.8% damage for all characters for every 50 class levels. They are over 200. So I think that's going to cover all of the talents. What I want to get into next is how I'm setting him up as far as my run. Leaning heavily into multi-kill, right? So if y'all don't know, the little wood chips, that's 15% multi-kill per damage tier for all worlds. So I'm running 3 of them. I've got my doubler for my star signs. So if I go into my star signs, you guys can see I'm running Forsaken because I don't care about HP. There's nothing that's gonna, you know, hit me and kill me. Don't care about defense, again, nothing's going to kill me, but I do want that 5 or 6% fight AFK cane doubled, so that's 12% for one of my resamples, and then I'm just running 2 damages, and I've seen that, you know, work out for me, so that's what I'm going to run. Get back into this. Then obviously running the doubler, that's just for my luck and my AFK percent, and then obviously 2 card doublers. So we'll go into cards real quick. Sets, I'm running Bosses and Nightmares. Now, if you want to min-max, what you can do is when you go to resample, you can go to your Smolder and Plateau and get the 10% fight AFK gain. That is a good move. I personally am not going to min-max that much, but if I remember, I might do it for green mushrooms. I'll switch over to the 10% fight AFK gain rate just to get a higher sample. Doubling my 2 damages. Got the Nightmare Chiswar, more stats from the socks, some damages, and then my multi-kill right there. And then going back into this talent real quick, just making sure we all know, each boss, the difficulty that you run that boss at equates to how many portals you get. So if it is a normal kill, you'll get 1. If it is a nightmare kill, you will get 3. If you're going into the run with just the mentality that I just want to resample, you want to do it on normal because it still will give you, you know, that bonus respawn. But if you want to try and push a higher rift, you obviously want to go for the nightmare because that's going to give you 3. So just make sure I'm clearing that up before we get into it. And then last thing I want to talk about as far as gear is if you have purchased these rings, they are, you know, very, very good for being able to get more multi-kill, being able to push the rifts a little bit faster. I do definitely recommend them. Obviously, you know, they do cost a bit of money, so they will help you. Obviously, of course, that's what they're there for. But, you know, you will see me switch to these at different parts in the rift. If you don't have them, completely fine. Just follow, you know, how I'm doing my rift, And, you know, hopefully I can not embarrass myself and we can possibly break 51 today. So next thing I want to talk about is your god choice. So it's going to be a pretty easy guess on what the god is for this character. So of course we're going to go with Nobi Sect. And the reason behind that is he's going to give us, you know, 2 times more kills for opening portals and accumulating Death Note kills. So that is going to lean itself directly into being able to push a higher Rift. And then of course the minor link bonus of 117% total damage, which will change depending on your divinity level, with this guy being 83. And then next thing I want to talk about, we're going to come back on over to World 3. We're going to run down this ramp a little bit and we're going to talk about your prayers. Now, I recommend running Zerg Rushidon, just because, again, we're going to be sampling near the back end of our run, and we want to make sure we have as much AFK gain rate as possible. That way, you know, bigger sample. And then the next one we want to run is Balance of Pain, multi-kill per damage tier. We don't care about defense, we don't care about accuracy. At this point in our game, you know, nothing's going to kill us. Now, that might be different for you. You might have to worry about, you know, Nightmare Chiswar, you might have to worry about Nightmare Elephant. But for us, you know, we're good here, so we're going to run both of these. And then last but certainly not least, we're going to come over into Alchemy. We're going to come all the way up here, and we're going to find Mr. Massacre. So at level 99, that's giving me 60% multi-kill per damage tier. We're going to come down to Prosperitus, and we're going to make sure we slap that on. Now, just for the run, I do also run... Nope, not that one, not that one. This one. Kill per kill. 50% extra kill for Death Notes and opening portals to new maps. That just expedites the run. Now, if you're curious why I'm not running, where is it? Fibers of Absence. So 135% kills for Death Note and opening portals. I personally found that it did not outweigh the loss of 68% total damage. Because if I toss that on, you can see I go down to 39 billion damage. And that just, it didn't help. The Death Notes for opening portals, it hurt my sample, it hurt, you know, my entire Rift. So until I see somebody who's better than me run it, and you know they got 60, 70 portals, I'm just gonna keep it that way. I think I like it a little bit more. So we went over the talents, we went over the gear, we went over the star signs, we went over the chips that you should have on the cards, the card sets, and then as well as your, you know, your gear that you're hanging on down here just to switch into as you do the run. I think it is time to actually get into a run. So I'm gonna get myself on over to World 1, which I don't think matters because I think it teleports you to World 1 anyways. And then, you know, we're gonna do a little quick look at what we can do. So we're getting 3 million right now. That's obviously gonna be much larger when we're actually doing the Rift. Now, before I get in there, I did forget, I just wanna bring it up again. So something you can do to prepare your runs is obviously Death Note, because the Death Note's going to give you, you know, more multi-kill bonus per tier. So that's something I'm slowly working on. I'm 4 down on World 2, completely done with World 1. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 more to go here. All of them to go here. And then obviously all of them to go here. But huge. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it up. If you can, obviously get your Death Notes to 1 billion. It's going to make your run so much better. But I'm going to shut up. I'm going to get into this run. Hopefully you guys can follow along. And hopefully I hear back from you guys. You guys got an amazing run. So without any more, let's get into it. All right, little speed run pep talk. Palmer, don't fuck this up. Thank you, Palmer, for the pep talk. All right, let's get into it, boys. All right, brothers, we are back. We just managed to break it. We are able to get another 5 extra void portals, so super happy about that. Before we get into it, just a quick word of advice, just from doing that run. I would absolutely recommend going to the lowest population server, even remotely available, because that was rough. Because as you could see, there was quite a bit of lag, a lot of missed input because I'm trying to click on something fast, and we just weren't able to do it because we were lagging too much. But I think that was solid. We were able to push up to 56, and I think we got some pretty good, some new samples. So we went from 957,000 to 1.21 million unbuffed, which I'm super happy about. We got 1.18 million of those. Forgot to get a couple of these. I did manage to get that, but I think the timer had run out. And then 469 of the floofs. So super happy. Hopefully this was able to help you guys. Any questions on this? I'm about to get on the road. Got to go visit family. Sister's about to get married. So a lot going on right now. But over the weekend, if I have time, if you guys got any kinds of questions, just go ahead, drop those for your brother. And I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. But thank you to everyone for all your support, all the support you've given me over the last year of making YouTube videos and the last year of playing IdleOn. It's been a lot of fun to me, for me, and I sincerely appreciate talking to you guys every single day in the Discord. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend, and I'll catch you in the next one.